Hello and welcome to the morning sports briefing here on Friday, the 29th of January. Hi, I'm Paul and I'll be your host this morning. In the news today, we've got cricket news with Super Smash and Pakistan versus South African test matches to cover. Over in the NBA, the Pelicans were in action yesterday, and also there's a surprise loss for the LA Lakers. I've got news from the NBL over in Australia for the basketball as well. The Prada Cup kicks back off again today, and we'll have some talk around the A-League, as well as rugby union and rugby league sort of news, crossover news, as it were. This is your best way to start the day, up to speed with all of the important sports news. And yes, there is talk of Roger Tuivasa-Sheck moving over from the Warriors to the rugby union. The 27-year-old fullback is apparently looking at moving at the end of the 2021 season, which will be interesting. The fullback has been rumored to move before, but it didn't happen. So we'll see if it goes through this time or not. The aim obviously is to get into an All Blacks jersey, but yes, we'll see if that happens, and also how successful the move is. Let's be honest, there have been mixed results with moves over from rugby league back to union. Over in the A-League, we'll be getting back into action today. Western Sydney Wanderers take on Newcastle Jets. That's at 9:05 tonight, New Zealand time. You've got to say that it's looking like most likely like a home win, with Western Sydney Wanderers up in third, Newcastle Jets down in 11th. Their only win so far over the Wellington Phoenix. Also, the Prada Cup gets back into action today. We've obviously seen the America's Magic back on the water, which is fantastic. After their crash, they will be taking on Luna Rosa Challenge in the Prada Cup Semi-Finals starting today. There will be 2 races today, 2 on Saturday, and if required, 2 more on Sunday as well before the final race on Tuesday, with no races scheduled currently for Auckland's holiday on Monday. But since America's Magic didn't win any of the races during the round robin stages before they crashed, you're going to wonder how competitive are they going to be able to be with their boat, having patched it up from that crash. Moving on to the NBL over in Australia. And one game yesterday saw the Taipans take on the Hawks. The Hawks continued their good start to the season with a 90-70 win in that one. Leading them was Tyler Harvey with 21 points. For the Taipans, Cameron Oliver got double-double with 11 rebounds and 20 points, but it wasn't enough to save his team from the loss. That sees the Hawks top of the table with 4 wins from their 4 games so far this season. Today, the Wildcats will take on the Southeast Melbourne Phoenix at 11:30 p.m. In New Zealand time. Over in the NBA, and the Pelicans managed to snap a losing streak, beating the Washington Wizards 124-106. Leading the way for the Pelicans on the scoring front were Brandon Ingram and Zion Williamson, who both scored 32 points. Steven Adams claimed a massive 18 rebounds during the game, plus chipped in with 6 points as well. For the Wizards, Bradley Beal did everything he could with 47 points to try and keep the Wizards in it, but it was not enough. Other results from yesterday saw the 76ers beat the Lakers in a tight game. The first Lakers loss on the road, 107-106 in that one. So right down to the end there. There were 12 games yesterday. The Jazz also beat the Mavericks 116-104, whereas the Suns fell to the Thunder 97-102. Also, the Celtics stumbling again. The Spurs beating them 110-106, whereas the Bucks beat the Raptors 115-108. That sees the Celtics drop to 5th in the Eastern Conference, whereas the Bucks keep and the 76ers top the table. 76ers two wins clear now of the Bucks and the Pacers in that one. Over in the Western Conference, and the Jazz have overtaken the Lakers at the top of the table now, with 14 wins and 4 losses, compared to the Lakers' 14 wins and 5 losses. And the Clippers are also in the hunt there as well. Moving on to cricket then, and today we will have the Super Smash action back in action with the Northern Knights taking on the Auckland Aces. That starts at 3:20 p.m. Followed by the Northern Spirit versus the Auckland Hearts under the lights at 7:10 this evening. I will be at Seddon Park for both of those games, so check out the New Zealand Sports Radio Facebook page for post-match interviews from that one. Looking forward to it. It's my first time to Seddon Park to see the action there. Also, I'll be back here at 7 a.m. tomorrow morning with the morning sports briefing on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter, bringing you results from those games. So do join me for that. Also, you can listen to the podcast of Search New Zealand Sports Radio. You can listen to us on the move. Finally, then, we have the test match between South Africa and Pakistan. And yesterday, I suggested that Pakistan's innings would come to a close pretty quickly with batsmen 10 and 11 in. However, the tail really wagged with a half-century stand between the two of them. Numan Ali made 24 and Yashir Shah was 38 not out there, propelling Pakistan to 378 in their first innings. South Africa then made a much better fist of it in their second innings, reaching 187 for 4 at the close of play, meaning that they now lead Pakistan by just 29 runs. The tail end duo, Numan Ali and Yashir Shah, took all of the wickets. Sorry. Took all of the wickets in that one, as Aiden Markham scored at 74 and Razi van Dusen 64, leading the way. The South Africa will recommence with Keshif Mahaj on 2 and Quinton de Nock on 0 at the beginning of play. So two batsmen who have not got themselves in to start off with. Can Pakistan make early inroads there on day 4? You have now started the day the best way, up to speed with all of the important sports news. Have a fantastic day, folks. The weekend is almost here. And don't forget to keep your eyes on New Zealand Sports Radio as I bring you coverage from the Super Smash today over there in Hamilton.